Welcome everybody to another episode of Central Valley Adventures. Today we're going to be talking about air conditioner compressors. I have a little business called Beyond Recycling, and what I do is I do property cleanups, and I also recycle and other little odd jobs here and there. But the business first started off as a scrap metal recycling company, and then I started going into cleaning up houses and trash removal. That's why I named it Beyond Recycling, because I would go beyond just picking up scrap metal at the property. But today we're going to be talking about air conditioning compressors, the units. I scrap them out, I cut them open, I take out the motors, and I gut the copper out of the motors, and I take it to the scrap yard and I recycle. The unit itself is number 1 steel, which is iron, and the inside, which is number 2 copper. The copper right now is about $3.25 a pound, I would say. It's went down a little bit, and the steel itself is about 9 to 10 cents a pound, depending on which scrap metal yard you take it to in my area. But all the tools I really need to get into these is a drill, a crescent wrench, a hammer, these E-sockets. You're going to need E-sockets. I ordered these online for $14.99 on Amazon. Let's open them up, check them out. That's what they look like right there. They're little stars. But you're going to need these. Not all of them require these sockets, but some of them do. The majority of them will require it because there's bolts that hold down in the motor. And the grinder. This is not an expensive grinder. This is a $14.99 grinder at Harbor Freight. It's a Drill Master. So the only real expensive thing here is the Ryobi drill. You can buy a crescent wrench from China. It don't have to be an expensive American made. This one's Pittsburgh. It's another Harbor Freight brand. The hammer's from Harbor Freight, $9.99, except for the E-sockets and the drill. Everything else is from Harbor Freight. So let's get into cutting these open. I'm going to put some down on the floor because it's a little bit too much. I need some space. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. I mean, this is a little bit what I do. Try to enter into my world beyond the fishing and, the traveling, the hiking and all that from the channel. Just get to learn more about me and what I do. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So keep watching. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, which you're going to need for this job, is some cutoff wheels. It's 4.5-inch cutoff wheels. I mean, that's the size that my grinder is. I get a 10-pack Harbor Freight for $5.99, inexpensive. So the wheel I have on it right now still has some life on it. So I'm just going to run it down until it's done. So anytime I start off doing these, there's a little box right here for the electrical connections. I like to cut that off, and then if you guys can see right here, there's another little nipple of copper coming out. I like to cut that off too, because sometimes it's in the way, sometimes it's not. But right now it's below the original weld from the company where they welded the top and the bottom together, which is right here. And I'm going to be cutting above it, so I don't think that's going to be an issue right now. But sometimes they are an issue because you do have to cut below on some of them. So you would have to cut that off. I mean, each one is different, but these ones I've done plenty of times over the years. So I pretty much can tell which model I need, where I need to cut it, how I need to cut it, because some require different cuts. So as of right now, we're going to cut this little box off.
this side off.
Take it off like that. Go to the side. And these little wires, you can take them off if you want. Throw them in a box because you can recycle them too. So we just take them off like that. We'll put them to the side. Those go in another separate container. That's number 2 insulated wire, I believe. It's like 45 cents a pound. So let's get into cutting. I'm going to start right below this sticker, and I'm going to go all the way around and lift the top of the head off. I don't know if you guys saw that, but when I put pressure on it, you see how it's wobbling? We don't want it to wobble. So we'll just pick it up like that, smack that hammer down, and now we're not wobbling. We bent the piece back down. So let's get back to it. Alright, so right now we just got into it. That's what it looks like. That's the top piece. It's just a spring in there that goes in here to keep it from bouncing around everywhere uncontrollably. So we do have little bolts right here all the way around. So that's where the E-sockets come in. That set up. I gotta go to my trailer because that's where the piece is, because this ain't the piece. Try to be prepared, but you know, it needs to come up. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got these right here. These connect to the drill for sockets. This is an adapter to make to a smaller size socket. Same thing here. So what we're gonna get, we're gonna find the one that fits it, which is gonna be this one. You see how it's a smaller square? That's why we need the adapter. That's gonna go right on there. And hopefully my battery is charged because I didn't even check to see if it had charge. So let's hope that it does. Oh, no, look it. It sure did die on me. So we're gonna continue this video once I charge up the battery. Sorry, folks. Okay, so now that we're in here, we're gonna take out all 4 screws that are on the side. 1, 2, 3. This lid, you're gonna have to take this lid off before you go to this one, the 3rd one, because this little circle has a lip on it that goes over the screw. So we're just gonna lift this up with the hammer, the claw. Lift it up like that, disconnect the plastic piece from the reservoir down there, and that comes off. Hold it. Now we're able to access this screw right here. I had to make sure it was recording. So now we're able to access this screw right here. We'll take that one out. And this is what we're after. This is all copper we're going to take out. This is the #1 iron scrap metal. And the metal around this will be recycled with the #1 iron. So let's take this apart, and I'm gonna show you how I take all the copper out. I mean, there's machines that would grab it, that people have made. They grab it, it grabs it here, and it pulls it out or whatnot. I've even tried vice grips on there, and I hit it all around with the hammer. And I used to do it like that for a while, and that was very, very exhausting. And I've tried numerous ways, and I couldn't never figure it out. And then one day something popped in my head, and ever since then, that's the way I've been doing it. So let's change the blade. Let's change the wheel, the cutoff wheel. Because it did only have a little bit of life left in it. Usually I get 4 of these cylinders or these units cut open with one disc. If you apply a lot of pressure to these discs on this metal, it'll wear it down really fast, and you only get about maybe 1 or 2. And you're lucky if you get 2 out of it. So I usually let the wheel do the work. I don't apply too much pressure. In each wheel, I get 4 of these units cut open. And then after I get a bunch of them cut open, I will then replace the wheel and go back and cut off all the copper. So for right now, I'm going to demonstrate real quick on how I do this. I know the video is a little bit sketchy the way I'm talking and whatnot. I'm just trying to get through it and show you guys how to do it. So right now we're going to cut off this top part of the copper. Let's move this up here. We're going to cut off the top part of the copper, and I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, we got the donut off. It's all copper, solid copper in there. And this is what the other side looks like now. Well, we still got one side over here. That's where this part of the process is where the hammer and the crescent wrench is going to come in. Hammer and the wrench. Some of you guys may know all about the hammer and the wrench. So let's get this over here. And one thing I will point out in this process, it is easier if you pre-cut the string that's holding it together all the way around. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a little tiny rope type string, braid, fishing braid, if you guys want to call it that, all the way around. So I will pre-cut that string to make this process a little bit easier, or else you're going to have a tough time pulling the whole thing out. Just like that, you guys can see that the string's cut all the way around. And we're going to start right here. We're going to insert the crescent wrench right there, and then we're going to hit it with the hammer. So let's move this to the side. And crescent wrench is all the way open. We're going to use this side. We're going to stick this side into the copper like that. Don't worry about if it don't go in there, because that's not what we're trying to do, force it in there by hand. So from here, we're going to hit it right at the back of the end, and we're going to jam it between the copper, and you don't have to turn it, you don't have to do nothing. You just continue to hit it, and the crescent wrench will automatically turn that way and pull the copper out. Just in the same spot you hit it. But once you get about to here, then you're gonna have to hit it the other way. But sometimes the copper will just slide out. When you put pressure, it'll slide out. But just keep hitting, and you can see that the crescent wrench went that way on its own just by hitting it in the same spot over and over, and it already pulled out the copper without me even doing anything. So we're gonna continue. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4. If you're stronger, it may take less. And then we hit it that way. And as you can see on one line, pick that up. And there it is right there. Let's put that to the side because I don't have the bucket with me right now. Let's fix this a little bit that way. So we're gonna do that to the other side, same thing. Same thing. Put it there and hit in the same spot over and over until the crescent wrench becomes vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can tell, my crescent wrench fell apart because I've been beating it for about months and months already. So continue. You don't even need the other piece anyway. So you hit it down, hit it forward. There's the other side of it. Put it there. Then after that, you're just gonna have very little on the inside. Same thing. Same thing. But sometimes you don't even need to hit it with the hammer. It'll just come right out with your hands. You try this way. See, it just come right out. Just pull it out. So that right there is a good $10 plus this weight. You know, that brings it up to maybe $13. So that's per unit. If you have a lot of units, that's $13 per unit versus if I scrap the unit on its own, I get $5. So it's all a numbers game. If you do not have a lot of them, or if you have little units, I would suggest that you just scrap them as a whole unit because you're not going to get very much copper out of them. But if you got these big units and you got several amounts of them, I would suggest that you do the work. It don't cost too much to get into it if you're continually doing it and doing it and doing it. But if you're just gonna do one just to find out what's in it or whatnot, I mean, go right ahead. But to me, the cheaper I get, the more income that I pull in off of these units. So the cheaper I go, the better for me, the more income I get, and the same thing will go for you guys. I hope that you guys take note, and like I said, there's a lot of ways on YouTube to do this. I'm sorry, I don't know if the camera is focused on me, but there is a lot of ways to do this on YouTube. And the way that I just showed you right now, I find it the easiest. But do wear a mask because you don't want all the smoke from the oils and all the particles from the metals and the coppers. You don't want to be breathing that in all day. I really didn't wear one because I don't want my voice covered up over the fan and over the fish tank I got over here. So if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope it brought you some knowledge because like I said, there is a lot of other videos out there, and I didn't find none of them useful because it required me to build some type of device, or it required money that I didn't have for a machine. So the way I just did it, I mean, my crescent wrench did fall apart on you guys, but like I said, I've been beating on it and beating on it for months and months and months and months now doing this. I mean, I do a lot of these. Shoot, I don't even know how many I do, but I do a whole lot of these, and the way I just showed you is the very simplest way. So you have to just rewind it, take a look, and I hope it's very helpful to you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to be going out fishing soon, so I will be putting out a fishing video, or I may be live, who knows. So Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss out. So until then, you guys have a great day, stay blessed, and fish on.